to buy my gold and silver from. SwissAmerica.com. The president is not only physically disappearing, but he has politically disappeared as well. His left wing has basically defeated him on the trade bill. It actually wasn't the trade bill per se. It was a debate about whether to go to the trade bill on a vote. And the left wing said no to him on this secret, sneaky anti-jobs bill. And the only people trying to save it are Mitch McConnell and Orrin Hatch, the same people, by the way, who gave us the likes of Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the United States Supreme Court. Same people who gave us Loretta Lynch are now trying to give us a trade bill with China that would kill jobs and industries. So there it is. Now the White House is putting the spin on it, saying that this defeat was only a procedural snafu, etc. But the fact is, this was the biggest loss in Obama's political career. My only wish would be that the same coalition would get together to put a stop to the flood of illegal aliens coming into America and take a close look at the type of immigrants that Obama has prioritized into the United States of America to remake it in his own image. That is largely not white. You know, one of these days I'm going to do a show on the European American contributions to civilization, particularly our society and our civilization. I am so sick of listening to this rubbish about the white male and the white race and white privilege that I'm going to do a whole show, an entire show. I've done it before, by the way, on white male inventions, which was immediately ignored by the media. But the fact of the matter is, I'm sick of listening to this garbage. And if I'm going to hear shows about African American, Asian American, Indian American, this American, well, what's wrong with doing a show on European Americans and their contributions to civilization, especially ours? But I want to turn to this European American's contributions to civilization, Michael Savage. Since I come from people who came from Europe, and I'm an American, I'm a European American, and I've contributed a number of books, broadcasts, I've rescued some rainforests, I've done some scientific research that will last for centuries, by the way. The collections are in museums around the world. I never talk about it, but you'll find that it's true. And today I want to talk about a novel called Countdown to Mecca, which is in the bookstores after long last. I've been waiting for it to come out for months now with all the news about Islam and this and that. I thought it should have been out a month ago. And then I'm asking you if you can find the book in the bookstores. We're getting one report after another of the bookstores not having the book. Once again, Michael Savage is banned from bookstores. Once again, there's a blacklist. Once again, there's subterfuge. Once again, there's sabotage. It's dramatic. It's set in San Francisco. It's got every element. Sex, romance, excitement, terrorism. I guess Katzenberg, Matzenberg, and Ratzenberg wouldn't touch it for obvious political reasons. So this book reads like a movie script. For those people who like action, Countdown to Mecca is it. And then we're talking about a political topic, which is a poll showing those in the United States drifting away from religion. Now, since this was done by the Pew Group, I don't really trust it that much, but it says the number of people identifying as Christians went down from 78% to 70% from 07 to 014. Okay. Those identified as Jewish rose 0.2%. Now, how can you figure that out? Well, those identifying as Muslim more than doubled to 0.9%. No kidding. Those identified as Hindus rose slightly to 0.7%. Thank God for that. I love Indian food. The more curry joints, the better. And of course, that's not what the Indians are bringing anymore. They're tech workers, so guys like Zuckerberg can make more billions, and Microsoft, Mr. Nice Guy, can pocket even more money. And the number of Buddhists was unchanged at 0.7%. The poll surveyed roughly 35,000 adults across the U.S. between June and September by telephone. By telephone. Excuse me, by telephone? Hello? Yeah, who is it? I'm with the Pew poll. Drop dead and you hang up. What do you mean by telephone? They don't even use cell phones? They call landlines on a poll and they think this is an accurate survey?
Warning. The Savage Nation contains adult language, adult content, psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
You're listening to the Memorial Day special on The Savage Nation, where we salute the troops 24/7. God bless the American military.
Everything we've done over the past 6 years, whether it's rescuing the economy or reforming our schools or retooling our job training programs, has been in pursuit of one goal.
To destroy America.
Opportunity for all of us.
To destroy the country.
But we know that some communities have the odds stacked against them and have had the odds stacked against them for a very long time, in some cases for decades.
Now, he, of course, uses the word some communities, meaning the black communities, had the odds stacked against them for a very long time. So it begs the question of how did Obama, Holder, Sharpton, and other African Americans who had the odds stacked against them get where they are? We have a black president. We had a black attorney general. We now have another black attorney general. We have Al Sharpton, the gangster criminal, in my opinion, going in and out of the White House, holding people up financially anywhere he can. He had the odds stacked against him. How'd they get where they are? In other words, if the communities have the odds stacked against them, Obama didn't burn a city down. He's trying to burn America down. Holder didn't have to burn down a convenience store to rob a pack of cigarettes. Instead, he's trying to destroy the American police departments across America. So then he goes on and justifies the thugs burning down Baltimore, burning down Ferguson, destroying property in New York City. Listen to clip 4. Listen to this. Listen to the evil in this tongue.
We've seen in places like Baltimore and Ferguson and New York. And it has many causes, from a basic lack of opportunity to some groups feeling unfairly targeted by...
Oh, shame on you.
And that means there's no single solution.
Yes, there is.
Have to be
throwing you out of office.
Solutions and different approaches that we try.
There's only one solution, which is to get the devil out of the White House and have him stop attacking the police and stop supporting the thugs. Okay, I like to hear the applause. What a phony. While ISIS was on a rampage into Ramadi, this character liar Satan was golfing. ISIS held a massive parade in West Anbar province, celebrating a victory in Ramadi. It went for a half a mile long. Do you remember under Bush we saw a highway of death? Where was one U.S. warplane? Why did the great commander-in-chief not launch an air attack against the ISIS parade of Toyota trucks with machine guns after they took the city, before they started their pillaging, raping, and kidnapping? There's only one answer to this. And do you know what the answer is? They're working for Obama. Here's another question about the so-called war being run by the golfer moron in the White House, Satan. Are you ready for this one? The victory parade after they took Ramadi. I'm talking about ISIS. A column a half a mile long of their pickup trucks with machine guns. One A-10 could have wrecked the entire column, destroyed them. One sortie by one airplane could have wiped out the entire column. Why the hell didn't Obama launch that A-10? Because they're on our side. I am telling you right now that this is the biggest scam in your life. There's no explanation for this. And further proof to my suspicion that ISIS is actually being funded by the United States government is this. Do you remember last week the Pentagon asked the media to scrap old footage of ISIS columns? Did you hear this? Do you remember what they said? Pentagon spokesman Colonel Stephen Warren said, please stop using stock footage that makes the terror army seem more mobile and more formidable than they say it actually is. He said they don't travel like that anymore. And he said, quote, one Toyota speeding down the road by itself at night with his headlights off would be a more accurate image. Really, Mr. Spokesman, Colonel Stephen Warren? Yesterday I saw a column of Toyotas a half a mile long, and you and your brave air boys did nothing. They were told to stand down the same way they were told to stand down at Benghazi by the... I don't know. I can't say it. I really would like to say what I don't understand how the Republicans let him get away with it. The answer is because they're the same. Don't you understand there is no Republican Party? There's no Democrat Party. Don't you understand yet that it's a single block of a ruling class and we're the moron serfs? And it's so bad that if my suspicion is correct, that ISIS is an arm of the United States government, in other words, a proxy army, that we, the citizens of this country, by permitting the charlatan in the White House to get away with this charade of a war against ISIS, we are responsible for the kidnappings. We're responsible for the rapes of children. We're responsible for the slavery of non-Muslims. We are the devil themselves for letting this character get away with it without demanding more. Now, of course, you say, what can I do? I understand that. You saw that George Staphylococcus is nothing but a paid whore. We understood that from day one. Did he ever look like anything but a paid whore? I mean, you're shocked that he's a paid whore and gave money to the Clinton Foundation? You're shocked that George Stephanopoulos looks like a male escort? He's been a male escort of the Democrat Party from the day he started. He never was a journalist. Never. He's always been a pretty boy escort for the Democrat Party. We have now in America what I've said for 10 years. We have reporters who suddenly call themselves journalists who are nothing more than fifth columnists disguised as members of the Fourth Estate. We have no Fourth Estate. I am the Fourth Estate. Drudge is the Fourth Estate. About 10 websites of the Fourth Estate. That's it. There is no Fourth Estate. Do you know what the Fourth Estate is? Okay, it's the Fourth Estate. We're supposed to stick our fingers into the side of the liars in government. We're supposed to be those who keep them in line. We're supposed to be the burr in the saddle of ABC, CBS, NBC, and NYT. But when we become the same as them and we're not the burr in the saddle, what are we? Prostitutes. You got the race hater in the White House every day now giving a speech, turning black against white, white against black, black against Asian, Asian against black, every day in every way, the same rotten, stinking people running the world. Again, Obama gave a speech. A sense of unfairness and powerlessness has contributed to dysfunction in black communities. Listen to what the divider-in-chief said in clip 8.
That sense of unfairness and powerlessness has helped to fuel the kind of unrest that we've seen in places like Baltimore and Ferguson.
You liar.
And
you
New York.
Liar. You
it has many causes, from a basic lack of opportunity to groups feeling unfairly targeted by police.
See? Again, the police are dying, and he's saying to them, kill them again. You think I'm going to mince words? I'm not. This man is the devil. I'm convinced Obama is the devil. If there is a devil, let's put it to you this way. If there's a mythical devil, he's it. Smooth talk. He's Satan. The man may as well be Satan. Why do I say a thing like that on a national broadcast? Why? Because I believe it's true. But I don't actually believe there's a Satan. I believe that there's an evil, socialist, communist, anti-American, especially anti-European American man in the White House with a wife who's worse than he is. And I think that they do everything they can around the clock to foster hatred between the races. Moreover, I'll go a step further. How is it that a criminal like Al Sharpton, a degenerate race hater, gunner of the lowest order, who has a daughter who says she twisted her ankle and is suing New York for $4.5 million, and then she's filmed on top of a mountain hiking, how is it that degenerate lowlife is invited into the White House 40 times, and these empty suits in the media don't say a word about Al Sharpton, a criminal, degenerate race hater, in my opinion, invited in and out of the White House? Forget what you think of Al Sharpton. I want you to imagine if a right-winger had won the presidency, and shortly after winning, he started inviting the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan in and out of the White House for 50 times. Do you think that George Staphylococcus would have let him get away with that? Do you think that George Staphylococcus, who's too glib to fail, would have not commented on the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan coming in and out of the White House had a conservative won the presidency? You betcha. Do you think that phony Irishman, John McCain, would be sitting there like the phony he is day in and day out, peddling the military-industrial complex while doing nothing about ISIS? Do you think Nancy Pelosi, who has capitalized on the unrest in America, do you think Dianne Feinstein, who sits on a Senate Intelligence Committee, will be sitting there like the Queen of Diamonds herself, capitalizing on the unrest in America, letting ISIS rage across the Middle East and get up there today like the Queen of Diamonds and say, oh, we must do something to stop ISIS, like she just discovered it in the middle of selling as many products as she could around the globe? What I want to do now is talk about something positive. My new novel, Countdown to Mecca, because it's out. I worked very hard on it. It's the last in the series. Many of you bought the previous editions of A Time for War and Abuse of Power. It's a thriller. It's a novel. It's power fiction, tinged with terrorism and intrigue. with an old school rough